What's up guys, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a really long time since I've recorded anything for the channel. I've been super busy. I'm still super busy, but it's summer break. Today, since it's summer, we'll be getting into some interesting books, and also I had a summer craft project that I wanted to show you all. That's just a fun, project that you all can do if you want to try it out. I'll be posting pictures of it on Twitter and Instagram. I'll definitely post on Instagram for them too. So the books I'll be getting into, it's probably gonna be a few videos long because I'm gonna go by genre, and I have a lot of genres, and we'll go by author. I'll be leading every author that I go over in this video. We'll leave in the description below. I'll also leave the link to if you can buy it on Amazon still. I'll leave the link to where you can buy it on Amazon, and I'll be giving you the pros and cons to each author that I'll be going over, and according to my opinion on the book. Of course, my opinion means nothing. I encourage you all to read it for yourself because you might enjoy it more than I did. But so we're gonna start with we have fantasy adventure, we got fantasy romance, we got horror, we got thrillers. I haven't decided what order I'm going to go in. I think I'm going to just go by genre, so if that means the genre is back there, then you'll get some of the longer books too. And then I'll show you the craft. So the craft project I did was custom bookmarks for each series that I own. So I'll show you this here. So this one's not exactly one of my more perfect ones, but the point is I was going to make a decorative bookmark. Now I'll compare it to some of the older ones, because I actually made some about 3 years ago. When I first came up with this idea, my mom did help me with some of these. We made them together. So I took the cover of the book so it matched the series that I went with. Now, I did not make individual bookmarks for each book in the series. One whole bookmark represents one whole series, and I just picked the cover I like the most. And then we went and I bought a key package on Amazon, which I'll leave in the description as well if you all want to do this project for yourself. As far as the rest of the stuff goes, I just got the internet on a printer, so you will need a printer and printer paper. I recommend you sizing it very small, so I sized the picture to be extra tiny, and then I just took a cardstock. I recommend cardstock because it's thicker, and you'll wrap the edges of this picture around it. I should do a crafting video on this, and maybe I will if I get the time, because I actually have some I need to redo. And then I cut out a decorative back. Just to make the back look pretty, because you don't want to leave the back out. Now, I do have some. Half of these were orange and the other half were blue. And then we picked out a key. Some have 3 keys, some just have 2. And I picked out a key that matched the storyline the most. That's the fun part. And then I just took ribbon that I bought from Hobby Lobby and tied it to the key, and hole punched in the corner and tied it to the corner. So you tie and have the key markers. And so that's that. All the bookmarks pretty much look the same. So let's get on to the books. So we're going to start, I think, with fantasy romance, because I think that's the majority I own, and we'll get into that. Okay, so there's this one of my favorites right here, is Hush Hush, the Hush Hush series by Becca Fitzpatrick. I'll again leave these in the descriptions just in case you all want to read these or buy them. In case you haven't read, this is about a girl who, just normal everyday girl living through life, and she gets stuck with a really crappy biology partner, named Patch. And the story goes on, things start revealing themselves to her, and she starts noticing certain things and figures out that he's actually an angel. That's him on the front of the cover. He's not just any angel, he's a fallen angel. It's a pretty fun adventure. I will label this is definitely young adult. These were really hilarious. So Becca Fitzpatrick, the one thing she could keep up in all the books through and through, there's 4 of these, is humor. She could make you laugh. Even in the darkest of moments, when everything seemed bleak, she could throw in a joke in there or some sarcastic humor and make you laugh. She didn't let the emotion get so high where I've read some books where it gave you an absolute headache. So she makes you laugh, makes it interesting, makes it fun to read. I believe in any writing, to me, especially when it's writing like these where there's going to be a lot of emotion, add humor. If you can't make them laugh and you just keep on dragging on with the emotion like one of the authors I have back here, I'm not going to enjoy reading it, because if I just feel depressed or angry all the time that something's not going right or something's always going wrong. And so she's really good at adding that. I recommend this as an adventure. There's 4 books. They're not very long. So yeah, romance. It's about fallen angels, the Nephilim, all that. That's all in this type of series. If you want humor, romance, and action adventure, I recommend the Hush Hush series. This one is called Reawaken. Name Milk. She does mostly mythology writing and deep fantasy. So this one's about Egyptian mythology. This book is about a girl named Liliana. She's more on the wealthy side, lives in New York, visits the Metropolitan Museum of Art, walks into the mythology, hears noises, and all of a sudden, sarcophagus bursts open, a hot teenage boy hops out, and finds out that he's actually a mummy, a prince, and a protector of the realm. And he rises with him and his 3 brothers so they can take on the god of chaos and protect the world from ending. Well, of course, things go wrong. He can't find his canopic jars, which means if he can't put his organs back in his body, apparently, he can't gain his full power. So he latches his life force onto Liliana, forcing her to go on an adventure with him to recover his 2 brothers so they can take down the god of chaos then. You'll find a lot of it. So she's also really good at adding humor in her books. The only negative thing that she cannot do ever, Mom and I both agree on this, she cannot close a series. I am sad to say that the last book of any series I've read is not good. She just can't close a series. Not properly, anyway. This one, Reawakened, I definitely recommend it if you like fantasy adventure and mythology. You gotta get into the mythology. I love mythology. I thought this was a really good concept, really good. The first 2 books were excellent. I like the second book, or the third one. She just can't close a series. This one's a trilogy, so it's only 3 books long. All of them, she has beautiful cover work. I mean, before I even read the description, the cover has to catch my eye, so her cover's always caught my eye. I'm sorry, I do judge a book by its cover, and if I don't like the cover of the book, then I probably won't pick it up. It's good to pass the time. It's not heavily detailed, and it's not boring, I'll give you that. And plus, I mean, if you like reading adventures about, you know, teenagers running off with an Egyptian prince around the world trying to get his brothers back to take down the god of chaos, I think you might enjoy it. This one. Author's name is Julie Kalga. This is the Iron Fae series. Very, very good. One of my favorite series. It's 4 books long, and it has several novellas and another series after that. In fact, she's writing another series for it, but it doesn't come out. It actually doesn't come out until the year I graduate high school, which is kind of disappointing. So this one is about the Fae. I learned a lot of the Fae actually from Shakespeare. This one's actually based a modern recreation, a very loosely based. It takes basically the character's name and the setting and nothing else. On his play, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. So it follows the character of Megan Chase from Louisiana, and her brother gets kidnapped, her 5-year-old brother gets kidnapped. She has to go into the world of what they call the Never Never, which is the world of the Fae, to retrieve her brother. Now, if you don't know anything about the Fae, they are cruel people. Magical people, yes, but very cruel. Their way of life is really dark and gruesome. She has to face between the what they call the Summer Fae and the Winter Fae, which is the realms of Ternanog, and I cannot remember what the Summer realm is called. She finds out she's the daughter of the Summer King Oberon, if you know who they are. And so she is now half Fae. There's 4 books, and then there's her brother's story, which I'll explain after that I have behind me. But this is her story. It goes on her adventure following her trying to get her brother back to the real world, and then the adventure takes off from there. This one I would consider closer to it's in between for me, between on YA level and new adult level, because this has a lot more language in it, not sexual content. It actually really has none of that in it. As far as language, it's high in that. They do use more profanity in this, so I recommend this for the ages of probably 16 and up. It'd probably take you at least that much to understand the storyline itself and what's going on. These are not long at all. In fact, all the books are about the same length. But, yeah, so I recommend these. Julie Kavga, to me, through and through, good author. She can write good, details good, humor is really good, and she can close a series. I've never been disappointed with the last book. I mean, sometimes the ending can be sad. I mean, you feel sorry for some of the characters, but good series. Good writing, good humor. She has it through and through. So Julie Kavga is one of my favorite authors. This one's called Call of the Forgotten. It's her brother Ethan's story, which I haven't read very much of these. In fact, I was going to read them through this summer, but I got busy doing other things, so I haven't started on them. And at the point, I did not have all the books. This is only a trilogy, so I finally got the last one. I never read a series if I don't have all the books, mostly because I don't really want to wait on all of them to come out. So these had all coming out. In fact, these are older. I just hadn't bought the last book yet. So anyway, this is her brother's story. He has to go back into the Iron Fae after 18 years. He's Megan's age, which is the main character of the Iron Fae series. Megan's age, the year she went in when he was 5, and now he's 18. So time and the Never basically stops moving. He's an adult now, legal adult, and he has to go back in because his girlfriend gets kidnapped. But other characters go on an adventure through the Fae world again to retrieve his girlfriend. It always stops with a kidnapping, and has to deal with Megan's son. So I won't ruin it any more than that. In fact, I haven't even read all that much of this, but I do recommend reading it because the first part of this book was actually really good, and although I got about halfway through this book, I never finished it. This is the longest series I'll be going over, and I think out of all the books I own, is 6 books long. These are on the longer side, so each one of these, except for the 4th book, stick around 500-ish pages. So these were called The Mortal Instrument. These are by Cassandra Clare, and so this is the first book. I used to love Cassandra Clare, and you may notice I said used to. I don't like her anymore, but I used to love her a lot, and because this was the first series I read. And then I realized there's better books out there, and her writing is not all that. I will say these are about the Shadowhunters. It follows a girl named Clary, or her full name Clarissa, but she goes by Clary, and her way of taking down the evil when she runs into the Shadow Knights, and she finds a lot of things about her past. It's kind of hard to say anything without spoiling the main point of the story. If you like longer books, you like a lot of drama. I mean, drama's very high on these. It does not have a high humor. The first book did, and that's why I fell in love with it. And then I read all the others, the other 6 or 5, the other 5 books. And there was really no humor. It just kept on getting into almost what I call a repetitive state, where the same thing happens in almost every book. And then it kept the 2 main characters apart, Clary and Jace, from getting together, so the relationship never really took off. In fact, even by the last book, it really hadn't gone anywhere. Same thing happens. Jace gets kidnapped, something bad happens, Clary has to fight to get him back, yada yada yada. And so that's I call it a repetitive storyline. Cassandra may be able to close the series, but she can't let the storyline go, and so I have some of her other books back here, and I just have to say, she writes the same theme almost in every single book. These were entertaining in the beginning. I will just say they're very long. Some of the books are not very good, and if you like reading almost the same thing over and over again, which I don't, then you might like these, because the storyline is upbeat, it has a whole lot of action, a whole lot of drama, really no humor, which is why I guess I can't really enjoy them. So really no humor, and the storyline to me just didn't change. And to me, stories have to change, and the people have to change with them, otherwise you won't be able to close it, and you won't be able to let the storyline go. Alright, I know you all have probably seen this book a million times before, but I have to add it on the summer reading list because, I mean, these were actually really good. Okay, I'll admit, my older sister loved Twilight, especially when the movies came out. She never read the books, because honestly, my sister did not like reading, period. But she did like the movies, which I have to say, the movies were awful. God awful. None of the characters followed anything that happened in the book itself. The books were really good. Now, these are on the longer side, and these came out well before the movies. This came out in like 2004. If you all watch the movies but haven't read the book, read the books. You'll see that it's completely different, and if you hated the movies and thought the movies were awful and that's why you didn't read the books, you really need to read the books, because you'll find out they ruin the story in the movies. And so I love the characters. In fact, Bella is so much better in this series. She's a lot funnier. They took out all the humor in the movies. There's a lot of humor in these books. They were hilarious. You'll love the Cullen family. You'll love the Swan family. They all had a different brand of humor. Edward especially. Edward actually had a sense of humor, which he really didn't have in the movies. Really upbeat storyline. I told Mom I probably would never read these, and she convinced me to try them. She told me they're nothing like the book, or nothing like the movies, and I would actually really like the books. And she was right, of course. I gave them a chance. I really liked them. And loved the covers. I always like the covers of these books. It's a 4-book series, obviously. They made the 4 movies. You have Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, Part 1 and Part 2, all in one book. And then actually, in reality, in the book, there's like 3 parts, because the last book is really long. And it goes from different points of view. The first part is Bella's point of view, second is Jacob's, and then it goes back to Bella's in the 3rd part. Again, they're nothing like the movies, so I really recommend them. I mean, you all know the story of Twilight. They didn't really change the setting, they just changed the way the characters act, look, and they took out all the humor and made the movies really depressing and unenjoyable. So, as far as the storyline goes, they didn't change the setting or very much of the story. They just changed the way the characters act, which in my opinion was wrong, because if you change the way the characters look and act, then what's the point? I mean, you're basically rewriting the story by that point if you're not a character. They did the same thing with Mortal Instruments when they made that god-awful movie about that. So, I do recommend reading Twilight. Alright. I think we're running out of time in this video. I have a few more books I need to review in this genre. I'll have to make a part 2. And it'll probably be a lot longer. I do have to edit this one down a little bit. We've gone over some books. I will leave them all in the description below. And then I'll review the next one, the other ones I have next time. I have a lot of other good authors and a lot of other critiques. Again, all the stuff in this video is purely my opinion. I highly encourage you all go out and read them for yourselves. You might like some of these books a lot more than I did, like Mortal Instruments. I encourage you all to read Twilight if you haven't read the books. I mean, they were really good. The movies sucked, but the books were really good. So, take everything I said in mind. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be leaving all the books in the description with the author's name and a link where you can go buy them on Amazon. If I have time, I will recreate those bookmarks and show you all how I actually did it. I will try to post more frequently. I'm probably going to be only 2 videos a week if I can. One might be a book review video and the other one will be a gaming video, and I do have a vlog coming up explaining what's going on. So, my plans for the future will be in that vlog. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when I post, and I'll leave my social media in the description below so you all can go check out those pictures of the bookmarks. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye! This one. Author's name is Julia Kalga. This is the Iron Bay series. Very, very good. One of my favorite series. Anyway. Back to this.